Alright, here we go. So I decided to join into the Duelist Cup and bring my Scareclaw deck to see how this deck would perform in the Duelist Cup. And not gonna lie, this deck kind of slaps everything anyways. So let's go take a look at some of these matches. Look at this. 5 straight wins so far. Have not lost, haven't even, well, I have technically come close to losing one, but not really. So let's see how all this kind of plays out. Now, here's the funny thing. I think when I play against people, they assume that I'm stupid, in which I get it, you know. But I don't underestimate anybody. I always think every opponent is like top tier. So I'm going to start off with the Pyro Rise map, go into 4 Mud Skipper right here, and then of course go into Scareclaw Lightheart. Boom, my opponent is going to activate an Ash Blossom, but I chain blocked this properly with the understanding that he had an Ash Blossom. Now, he could have Ash Blossomed the Pyro Rise map, my boy, but he didn't. And that let me know he had Ash Blossom, because with Pyro Rise map, he can't imperm it. He only can get the trigger for the Ash Blossom. Now, it didn't show priority that he had Max C, so I knew he didn't have Max C. It didn't show priority that when I summoned the 4 Mud Skipper that anything would happen, which told me he didn't have Imperm. But when I activated Pyro Rise map, it gave him a trigger, which told me that he had Ash Blossom. So I knew to play around Ash because I already had this, my boy. You feel me? Now, his dumbass should have ashed the Pyro Rise map, and I would have lost 4,000 attack or whatever, and then had to build my board with whatever I had in my hand. Which means I probably would have bricked and lost, because I didn't really have shit. Now, that's the first loss, but I get it. He don't know what I got in my hand. He don't want a shotgun and Ash for a Pyro Rise map. It might be a bait, right? I got you. End up getting chain blocked, my boy. Let's go to the next match. Alright, here we go. So, in this particular hand, I got a shit ton of cards in my hand that can do some craziness. Now, he's going to start with Gozuki right here, and then he sends a card that I'm all too familiar with, Al Ghul Mazera. Now, this card right here, if you don't know about it, this is a zombie card that you should pretty much always run in your zombie deck. Some people don't run it, but you should almost always run this card. I always ran this in my zombie decks. What it basically does is it sits in your graveyard when someone tries to basically destroy one of your zombies from battle or card effects. This card banishes itself and then unbanishes to summon itself, and then does some level changing effects, right? Now, why did he think this would be a savior to him? And why did he assume that I was dumb enough to just fold to that and think, like, bro, are Master Duel players that dumb, bro? Like, do you think I don't read, my boy? So, I don't even attempt to pop this card at all. And I have multiple times that I could pop it. And I actually have a way to stop the Al Ghul by negating it, and I still don't even do that because I got an easier way to beat it, and I'll show you right here. So boom, I go ahead and go into Baron de Flor. That'll prevent me from getting the Beerud, and then I simply revive back my 2 monsters to simply go into Chaos Angel. What does Chaos Angel do? Chaos Angel banishes, my boy. So instead of destroying anything, I play completely around Al Ghul by simply banishing his monster. Doesn't activate the Al Ghul. This card becomes basically dead, and then boom. Now I've already gotten 3,500 on the board with Chaos Angel, 3,000 with Baron de Fleur, all I gotta do is just make something and then just attack for game, my boy. Now, that's not too hard, especially with parallel exceeds. Literally linking would put two parallel exceeds, boom, I could summon whatever and just attack for game. I was gonna go into DPE, honestly. I was gonna set the site and then summon out DPE and then just attack with DPE, Baron de Fleur, Chaos Angel, boom, game, you know. And then the scythe would have been just in case I couldn't get damage for whatever reason. If he could figure a way to prevent me through Baron de Fleur, which I don't think was going to happen, but whatever. All right, so he pretty much surrendered, and that is a GG's for him. I don't know why he thought, like, bro, it's literally leveling up, my boy. Like, this dude was extra trash. He was like trash, you know, and he's a little bit better. So let's see what happens in this one. And like I say, players assume that I'm dumb for whatever reason. Don't know why. Like, you should have just quit when you didn't have a play, my boy. Like, why stick around to see if I'm gonna break your board? And as if summoning one body would save you, by the way. So I'm gonna go Rite of Ares Mirror right here. Boom, go Balone. And then this motherfucker, bro, activates the card that I absolutely fucking hate, bro. Is Maxi. Basically, it's just gonna feed this motherfucker's hand. Now, if you're gonna play Maxi, at least play a deck that benefits from Maxi, bro. This deck, look how many cards this dude's got, bro. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 cards in his hand, and then drew a 9th card. If you got 9 cards and you can't make it through a single Baron de Fleur, your deck is fucking trash, bro. So he normal summons out this sync run right here. Boom, summons out the Bestial Magnemite. My boy, I am going to let you do everything until you get this on the field. And now you can summon one more Bestial because of Visa Starfrost if you got one. But the fact that you're using this to search for one, I'm just going to, this is all I got, bro. I'm just going to negate this to prevent you from going into a level 7, because that's my assumption, that you're going to go into a level 7. Boom, I stopped that. He sets this shit face down. Bro, was that your only fucking play? You set 2 face downs and pass? Okay. Well, it's time for you to get cooked now, my boy. So I activate Baron de Fleur to bring back the Visa Starfrost. And then he is going to Ash Blossom my Faithful Adventure. And now, look at this motherfucker's hand, bro. He's back down to size. Back down to size. I've baited out his negates. Forced him to waste a negate on my Baron de Fleur, which didn't have a negate effect anymore. So, got him to waste that negate there. Also got him to waste an Ash Blossom on the Faithful Adventure, which couldn't do shit but summon a token out, my boy. So, got him to waste that. And now I can make my fucking plays. So, boom, I'm going to activate Signet Mining, go 4 Mud Skipper right here. And, of course, I'm going to go into Lightheart and then grab the Parallel Exceeds and another copy of Reichphobia. Boom, use this to grab Reichardt, and then I'm going to summon out my Scareclaws. I go 3 of them so I can draw an additional card, and look at that, I draw right into the card he was trying to prevent me from getting earlier, my boy. Then we're going to use these 2 to go into Chaos Angel. We're going to banish that face down, go into Artifact Dagda, into Parallel Exceeds, just like that. Set the Scythe on the field, boom, and my boy is out of there. My boy is out of there, my boy. Now, this guy, I don't even remember what the fuck happened in this match, bro. Cooked them easily, like easy cooks, my boy. Don't even really remember what happened in this match. I just know this motherfucker quit. This match right here, he set the most weakest board on the fucking planet and dipped 2. This match right here, Max see me set a board even weaker than this guy. After Max seeing me, had a shit ton of stuff to try to stop me, and I played through all of that shit and still was setting up my superb board that was gonna absolutely crush this motherfucker. Now, let's go to play number 4. Like, these opponents are actually getting tougher, which is crazy. It's like climbing a fucking, like, it's like climbing up a fucking tournament or something, my boy. I guess that's what Duelist Cup is, like a tournament. Now, hand right here don't look too bad. I'm start off with Cyanide Mining. I'm going to discard this trap right here because it can be recurred. So, don't really care about that. We're going to go Scareclaw Lightheart right here. Grab the Parallel Exceeds. And then Reichphobia. Reichphobia, search for Reichheart. Boom. We're going to grab an additional Arrival. Go Artifact Dagda. That's going to trigger the Parallel Exceeds. That's going to trigger the Dagda. Then we're going to set the Scythe. Go into IP Masquerena. Boom. Use these two to go into Predator Plant Verde Anaconda. Activate that to go DPE. And then there we go. We're going to set the Slash face down. And then pretty much pop the Scythe and the field spell because we don't really care about that. Now, my opponent is Scythe Locks. And before his first action, this is intelligent of him. His first action is to activate Harpy's Feather Duster. That gets rid of my Slash, so no Omni Negate for me, and that happens before I can use my IP Masquerena. And so y'all don't say, why didn't you use IP Masquerena? My boy, I couldn't negate this shit, because I have to chain to this to negate it. It's no point in flipping this up any sooner anyways, and I couldn't actually use this until after he does his first priority of main phase 1. So I go ahead and chain Slash and then flip that over. Boom, I lose Slash anyways. And then, what you look at that? He activates Triple Tactics Talent and takes my Scareclaw Tryhard. Now this is the importance of using your fucking brain. Now, let's look at this. You see what this says right here? He has one normal summon that he can use. So, what can he summon with a level 7, my boy? You need 2 bodies on the field to tribute summon. And he just cucked himself because he's playing Kashtira by taking my monster first. So that's his first mistake. What he should have did was summon the Kashtira if he had one, then took my Scareclaw Tryhard, then then after that tributed if he had another Kashtira. So he normals out Rise Heart just like that, boom, and then uses the Birth to summon out Scareclaw Kashtira. So he had a level 7 right here. You feel me? So he could have actually summoned the Scareclaw Kashtira. Well, I guess it wouldn't have mattered anyways. He's fucked. Oh, what was that? What was that? Okay, so he sent Fenrir. And then he's going to resummon Fenrir out and then grab Kashtira Unicorn. So I guess he couldn't do that. He didn't have the plays, right? Now, he is going to attack with my Scareclaw Tryhard into DPE, which basically does fucking nothing, bro. Like, all his shit has to stay in defense because he controls the Scareclaw Tryhard. So he just cucked himself, my boy. Not only that, he can't even link this bitch off with the extra deck. So he has to hope that this board is going to be what holds me. Bro, this shit ain't doing nothing, bro. Watch this. So boom, he attacks twice, takes off a little bit of health with the sideways Scareclaw Kashtira. Good for you. You had a monster that could attack in defense. Boom. He's going to activate this. That bitch gets negated because he triggered this shit to activate its effect to target something. Now, yeah. Says, if you control a Kashtira monster and this card's already up face up on your field, you can look at your opponent's hand, banish 1 card face down. Yeah, so I guess the motherfucker must have tried to do something and it triggered off this card. and negated this shit. So dumb for this motherfucker, bro, for trying to do some dumb shit. You feel me? Now he banishes 3 of my cards face down. One of them happens to be DPE. Hey, it is absolutely fine, my boy, because what this means is basically I've already got Scareclaw Tryhard on the field. It's already unaffected. His monsters basically can't come out of defense, and their effects that happen on the field don't affect this card. So he's already fucked in that instance. So there we go. So I'll go ahead and grab Reichphobia right here. And then he's going to banish, but it's okay. Because what I actually needed was this card right here. The field spell. So I'll go ahead and pop his Fenrir. Summon our right card right here. Grab the Arrival. Now I fuck up, bro. I fuck up. I don't realize that I can only target Scareclaw Tryhard right here. So that's what I was going to pop. And I saved my own shit. And yeah, I do fuck up sometimes. I saved my own shit with Arrival. I was hoping to pop Denier. Not gonna lie. So go ahead and just tribute summon that bitch out for Denier. And then go into Baron de Floor. Boom. Now I can pop another one of his bodies. Use these 2 to go into Visa's Astrolabe. And then pop another one of his bodies. Boom. Use Nemesis Flag to grab Corridor. I couldn't actually like do anything beyond this, but here's the funny thing. These 2 cards, look, he has nothing banished. So I don't have to worry about one of these 2 cards. This one right here says you can special summon a Kashtira monster that is banished or in your hand. He ain't got shit in his hand and he ain't got shit banished. So he has to hopefully draw a Kashtira for him to make that summon off of this. And then for this card right here, basically he can summon them from the graveyard. It says right here, during your main phase you can special summon 1 non-Xyz Kashtira monster that is banished or in your graveyard. So this one is the one card that can get its effect. So if he doesn't draw something he could play and I negate this shit, he is absolutely fucked. So let's see what happens. Boom. He activates. I allow it to go. And then I just simply, bro. Do you see what I just did, bro? Simply negate the effect of his Fenrir. Because I knew his Fenrir couldn't do shit. Simply negate that effect with Baron de Floor. And then he just scoops it up. Just that easy, my boy. Now, the reason I knew he didn't have shit in his hand is because before he activates Birth, he would have activated the card in his hand first. Then after that, he would have activated Birth. Boom. Because he can't, if he summons with Birth first, he can't summon a monster that's in his hand unless it's Kashtira Rise Heart. So a little bit of a smart thing that I did right there. Now, let's go to the last and final match. Now, y'all see this guy was actually much better than these other 3. So we're getting better and better. Now, let's go to the final fucking boss then. And see how I cook this bitch. Defeat. My boy's name is Defeat. And would you look at that? This hand is absolutely fucking golden. So he's going to start off with Time Thief. What is this? No, not Time Thief. Time Tearing Morganite. This card right here allows him to draw 2 cards. I ain't got to worry about no hand traps for the rest of the duel. Thank you for activating this card. So let's see what devious traps he's got right here. So boom, I activate Pyro Rise Map. And my boy, I activate Pyro Rise Map, and the first thing you do is flip a skill drain. Now, if he was smart, which he's not, but if he was smart, he would have waited on this skill drain until I summoned a monster that was going to activate an effect and then flipped his skill drain, which would have made it difficult for me to play around his skill drain. But because he's a fucking dumbass, he flips this bitch over right away. Like, bro, why? My nigga, why? You had no reason to, my boy. So boom, flips that bitch around right away. So, of course, with the Pyro map, because he flips over skill drain, what do? I don't, like, bro, this is the funny thing about this, right? Let me explain this real quick. So then that way y'all understand why this is dumb as fuck for him to flip skill drain. The reason that I searched for Balone off of Pyro's map and not for Mud Skipper, which I didn't need it, was because I had Parallel Exceeds in my hand. But assuming I didn't have Parallel Exceeds in my hand and I had Pyro's map, I would have searched for Mud Skipper. So when I would have summoned my 4 Skipper, boom, it tries to activate an effect. It locks me out of the adventure engine if I try to activate the effect. Thus, him flipping skill drain would basically take away my plays. And I would just have to pass turn, and I wouldn't have a way to break his board. But because this motherfucker's a fucking dumbass, this is how it goes down. So, me knowing that he has one more interruption, I go ahead and summon out Scareclaw Rykart. Bro, what are you afraid of that you needed to Solemn Strike Rykart, bro? You already got skill drain, so it gets no effect. You've already turned this bitch into a vanilla monster, bruh. So, if you've already turned this bitch into a vanilla, why Solemn Strike it? And my Link 2, bro, if I go into a Link 2, it's negated. Because you got... Bro, you got skill drain. So I guess he figured, I don't want him to get no damage. 0. I want that shit to say 0 when he attacks. I want that shit to, like, not take off not a single life point. But defeat. You assumed that I'm a dumbass, my boy. Let me show y'all how to cook this bitch. So boom, I activate Faithful Adventure, discarding the Water Enchantress, getting myself a copy of Rite of Air's Mirror. I activate that bitch, giving myself an adventure token, equip the Draco back, put skill drain off the field, back into this dumb fuck's hand, and there it is. Played around this motherfucker's skill drain, and he didn't even stop my Scareclaw play at all. Full fucking combo coming, and I got Parallel Exceeds to extend like fucking crazy. Watch this shit. Boom, search for Rykart. Thank you for not allowing me to get my effect earlier. I simply just use the effect right here. Boom, go Parallel Exceeds, set the scythe, use these two to go into IP Masquerena. Boom, summon this right here to go Corridor. Use this to go into Thunder Dragon Colossus. And look at this, I can just attack for game, my boy. And guess what? If I don't got game, guess what, bitch? I can simply activate a rival, summon one more body onto the field from the graveyard, use this plus that body to go into Predaplanet Verde Anaconda, use that shit to go into DPE. When you set that fucking skill drain, Mac, that shit off the field, my boy, is gone. You feel me? Pop that shit before it even gets its effect. And you would have been scythe locked by the way too, my boy. So, finished. Just that easy. And that is how I've cooked everybody in this Duelist Cup. With this deck right here. Scareclaws. Catch y'all on the next one. Peace.